Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us on this edition of News 2. I'm Sandra Guman-Singh, topping our newscast. St. Croix's young men got words of wisdom from local and national celebrities during the 5th annual Man Up Conference on St. Croix. The theme was Awakening the Leader Within, and the guest speakers really motivated the group to focus on their future. News 2's Erica Parsons has more.
Hundreds of young men attended this year's Man Up Conference, riveted on the speakers whose loud and clear message was it's okay to fail, it's not okay to quit. Well-known entrepreneur Chris Gardner and the Grammy Award-winning duo known as Rock City used their personal stories to inspire St. Croix's junior and senior high school boys.
What was it like living on the streets? My son was 14 months old. He was still in diapers. There was a piece of metal over the sink. It wasn't a mirror, but it served as a mirror. And every day I had to wash my little boy, and I had to look in that mirror, and I had to ask myself some very hard questions.
We only had a hotel for one night, so we went in Atlanta, and then from after that one night, then we were homeless. We had no place to stay, so we would sleep at a friend's house on the floor. We would sleep in a studio.
A lot of people sometimes might say they want something, but they really don't want it. Like, my brother gave you examples like, yo, like, we were homeless. We were willing to be homeless to get where we at right now.
Wednesday was the 5th annual Man Up Conference, a vision of UVI's president, Dr. David Hall, and an effort of the university's Brothers with a Cause group.
Your lives matter, and we don't want anything to happen to any of you. We want you to fulfill your potential to be a leader.
Wednesday's theme was Awakening the Leader Within, and the guest speakers had plenty of advice for the young men.
Number 1A, the cavalry is not coming. Ain't no backup. You got to do this. Number 3, baby steps count too, as long as you're going forward.
No, it's temporary. Sometimes it's a person, no, it's temporary. You literally got to keep going until they say yes, because somebody tell you can't do this.
It's a message that resonated with the young men in attendance.
I think it was very good. I learned that if you really love something, you have to do anything for it.
I want to become the best basketball player in the world and go to the NBA. First, I'm going to focus on school, then I'm going to worry about basketball.
I'm going to do everything that is possible to become a basketball player.
Erica Parsons, News 2.
Meanwhile, the girls weren't left out. It was girl power at several schools around St. Croix. Community for professionals talked about their life experiences that helped them get where they are. There were similar messages shared with the young women that their male counterparts heard at Man Up, like letting the girls know they have value and self-worth and they should never give up on their passion.
We wanted our students to think about healthy living, relationships, social issues, mental issues that we have in our community. A number of our students are going through certain issues. And we also wanted them to think about the careers they're going into, because a number of the presenters came, they're entrepreneurs. So about who are thinking about their own businesses, who are thinking about going to the University of the Virgin Islands. Just to have our students to start thinking outside and just thinking it's not just about education all the time. And no matter what they might be going through in their personal lives, that they can make it as well, because we have successful women in our community.
The Committee on Economic Development, Agriculture and Planning went on an on-site visit on St. John last Tuesday in preparation for an upcoming lease agreement and permit request regarding the proposed Summer's End Marina that will be located in Coral Bay Harbor on St. John. Committee Chair Senator Jeanette Millen-Young said that her office coordinated the site visit as part of the Senate fact-finding mission. The project to restore Coral Bay by building the Summer End Marina describes the benefits once the project is approved by lawmakers. Rick Barksdale gave the presentation. The Committee on Economic Development, Agriculture and Planning will schedule the hearing to be held at the legislature of the VI in the near future. Allen's Water and Power Authority Executive Director Hugo Hodge Jr. will hold a news conference at 2 p.m. on Thursday, February 12th to provide an update on the propane conversion conversion project underway at WAPA's power generating plants on St. Croix and St. Thomas. That news conference will also allow the director to provide an overview of an operation on Sunday, February 15, 2015, as the first of 10 propane storage tank arrives on St. Thomas. That news conference will be broadcast live on WLDV The Vibe, that's 107.9 FM. Tune in to News 2, and we will have more from the conference as well. The Coast Guard, U.S. Customs and Border Protection, and U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement's Homeland Security seized a 989 kilograms cocaine shipment and apprehended 13. Approximately 8 nautical miles off the coast of Manatee, Puerto Rico on February 3rd, while on routine patrol, a CBP crew detected the Atlantic hovering and launching a small delivery vessel laden with suspicious package, according to reports. The delivery vessel headed southbound without any navigational lights and was intercepted by CBP. The cocaine was estimated to have a street value of approximately $29 million. The suspects apprehended were comprised of 4 Dominican Republic nationals, 4 Cubans, 1 Peruvian, 1 Panamanian, and 1 Ecuadorian. VI Police Department is investigating a shooting that happened earlier today. Here's police spokesperson Kevin Jackson with more.
Upon arrival on the scene, officers discovered the body of an unresponsive black male who appeared to have sustained a gunshot wound about the body. The individual is later identified as 20-year-old Leroy Rollins, a resident of the housing community. Anyone with information concerning this homicide may phone the Major Crimes Unit at 340-714-9833, extension 5618, 911, or the anonymous tip service Crime Stoppers USVI at 800-222-8477.
And that shooting took place earlier today at 22 High Rise Building 20-year-old Leroy Rollins, and that is the name. Be sure to call Crime Stoppers of the police department if you have any information that can assist in their investigation. Senators Novell Francis Jr. and Kenneth Gittens, both career law enforcement officers, say they are calling on Police Commissioner nominee Delroy Richards Sr. to organize his leadership staff so that discussions can take place to address the issues of violence. This is in response to the continued violent crime plaguing the territory. The senator said in light of the rapidly escalating homicides in the territory in just a few short weeks, they believe that it is time for the police brass to update the community on some of the steps they have been taking or are planning to take to stem the wave of violence and criminal activity in our neighborhoods and on our public streets.
Too often in our communities, and these victims are our very own sons, daughters, nieces, nephews, or even someone that we're simply familiar with. It's far gone that we put a handle on these senseless shootings. We have initiated an open communication with the administration and with the police department, and I'm hopeful that we see some action sooner rather than later. Our community members also play a key role in this.
Turning our attention overseas, President Obama wants Congress to approve his plan to fight ISIS. His proposal includes a 3-year authorization for using military force. U.S. forces will be able to fight ISIS and affiliated groups no matter where they're located. The president needs Congress to pass the authorization. While there is still strong support on Capitol Hill to pass something, the proposal is sparking a lot of debate between members of Congress. Lawmakers from both sides of the aisle say they are opposed to the authorization the way it's currently written. Keeping our eye on the economy, Facebook isn't just for staying in touch with friends, it's becoming a marketplace. The social media site has updated its for sale groups. Members can now post pictures of items they are selling along with the price and pickup, delivery, location. And while you're at work, you're likely killing some time on your phone. A new Career Builder survey found that 1 in 4 workers admit to spending at least 1 hour a day on personal calls, emails, or texts. Employers say there are plenty of other distractions like gossip, snack breaks, smoke breaks, and loud coworkers who put phone calls on speaker. Here's the New York Stock Exchange with our stock market watch. The Dow down 6, NASDAQ up 13. Coming up on News 2, February 14th is near and love is in the air for those who want to revive or renew the love, where you can sign up for some vow renewals. That's coming up next. Well, time for a moment in Black history. In 1962, the South African government sentenced Nelson Mandela to an imprisonment that lasted 27 years. 25 years ago today, on February 11, 1990, he walked out of prison a free man and hero to millions. On April 26, 1994, thousands of voters of all races lined up for the first day of voting in South Africa's first all-race elections. Voters waited for hours in lines that stretched more than a mile in primarily black regions of South Africa to cast their vote. Some violence did mar the elections. He was the first post-apartheid black leader. Marvin Pickering, Director Designee of the Virgin Islands Bureau of Internal Revenue, and Dr. Stephen Reams, Dean of School of Business at the University of the Virgin Islands, announced that the Volunteer Taxpayer Assistance Program is on again. The Bureau's audit staff and the UVI students will help taxpayers with the filing of their 2014 income tax returns. This is a free service offered to taxpayers. The program will begin on all 3 islands on Saturday, February 21st, so mark that on your calendar, and will run every Saturday until April 11th, with the exception of Saturday, April 4th. The interns will be completing forms 1040EZ and 1040A only. And here's a reminder for UVI students. March 2nd is the deadline to apply for UVI scholarships for the 2015-2016 school year. Applications are available in person at the UVI financial aid offices on the St. Thomas campus and on the Albert Sheen campus on St. Croix. You can also go online to download the applications. St. Thomas campus numbers are 340-693-1090. On St. Croix, it's 692-4193. Well, love will definitely be in the air this weekend for dozens of couples who'll be heading over to Love City Trunk Bay, to be exact on St. John, for the annual Celebration of Love Vow Renewal Ceremony. That's on Valentine's Day, February 14th at 5 p.m. St. John's Barefoot Minister Anne Marie Porter invites couples to celebrate Valentine's Day in a meaningful, joyful way by renewing their marriage vows. 1,230 couples from all over the world have participated in the past 12 years. All are welcome. No pre-registration. Just show up February 14th, 5 p.m., Trunk Bay Beach, St. John, Virgin Islands. Now, if you are feeling single, don't feel left out. Singles, engaged, and married couples, this is one not to miss. A 3-day conference is taking place that will focus on the issues singles and engaged couples go through. It will be held at Impacting Your World Christian Ministries. That's in Altona, across from the Western Cemetery. It will begin with a Friday night service for singles at the church at 7:30 p.m. Then Saturday, February 14th, a workshop for married couples. That's at 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. And then on Sunday, February 15th, renewing of the vows for all married couples during service, and a reception follows. Well, turn our attention to the very breezy conditions we have been experiencing. Enough for this yacht to wash up on the rocks. Now, you saw this shot earlier today. This was the scene earlier this morning at Yacht Haven Grand. The forecast called for breezy winds south at 15 to 20 miles per hour. Be sure to stick around. Bernie has your latest weather forecast coming up next.